convince us because we want to be convinced.
Madam Senador, lumaki po ako sa farm. Kinulong po ako ng tatay ko.
Paulit-ulit naman, parang memoryado nyo. Kasi kino-coach ka ng lawyers mo siguro. Nothing to be defensive about. You don't have to say the same thing. Basta sa farm po. Tell us about your child. Ako sa farm. Basta tell us about your child. Sa farm. Ano ba? Huwag tayong robot. Sons of living na formative years. Para makumbinsi kami because we want to be convinced that all elected officials are Filipinos and not spies of other countries. So, as a nationally elected official, and I won in Tarlac, number 1, I think, or 2, and I won in Banban. Perhaps you even carried me your sample ballot. We have to know, di ba ho? So if you're really Chinese and fronting for other people, go back to your country. But if you are Filipino and you were born here, convince us because we want to be convinced. So I'm trying to help you by trying to make you recall about your childhood. Hindi pwedeng, kasi parang scripted. Kasi I was born on this. This is what I can remember. And then when I ask you the same question, it's the same rote. R-O-T-E. So convince us.
Your Honor, lumaki po ako sa Bamban, Tarlac. Lumaki po ako sa farm.
Paulit-ulit.
Opo.
Anong barangay, anong farm?
Batay.
Okay, so in English, the interpretation would be, my father is from China. I am not a Chinese. I am a Filipino.
I mean, you're obviously half Chinese because if your father is full Chinese and your mother you claim is Filipino, right?
Your Honor, ako po ay isang Filipino at ang tatay ko po ay Chinese. Ako po ay, kung hindi man po ako full-blooded po na 100% po na Filipino, dahil po sa tatay ko, ako po ay isang Filipino po.
Okay. What do you recall in 1986 when you give us the earliest photos of yourself and your family and your workmates, playmates in your very exclusive and closed farm that you said, and your relatives in China and your father's relatives, and the time that you were born, 1986, hindi naman, okay, walang cellphone, but you must have photos. And
Yes po.
proof of your homeschooling. Siyempre, pag homeschooled, meron pa rin yan mga report card, hard copy pa noon, hindi pa soft copy eh.
Yes po, Your Honor. Hahanapin ko po yung mga picture po. Pati
So,
po yung mga tao po, pati po yung mga empleyado po na kasama ko po.
what was the situation, Mayor Go, noong 1986 when you were born? Where was your mother? Where were your parents? And sa mga binibisita kayo ng iyong ama at ang kasama niyong lumaki ay sino? Fill in the blanks, please.
Your Honor, 1986 po, nung pinanganak po ako, wala po akong any knowledge po. Dahil baby pa po ako noon, lumaki po ako, may nakikita po ako mga kasama po naging partner po ng tatay ko po. At lumaki po ako sa farm, isa na rin po yung na-mention ko po nung nakaraan po na Senate hearing, si Teacher Rubilin po, nakasama ko rin po siya.
Can you please state once again your mother's name?
Amelia Leal po, biological mother ko po.
And have you ever met her?
Hindi ko po siya nakasama.
Have you ever met her?
Hindi po.
From the time you were born, from 86, hindi po nyo na silayan?
Hindi na po.
And tinanong po nyo sa inyong ama o sa mga kalaro nyo kasamahan sa farm?
Your Honor, how I wish po I have a perfect family po.
No, we lead imperfect lives. So I don't want to intrude on that. I just wanted to make sure. So, sa pagkaalam ba nyo ay Pilipino ang inyong ina?
Opo. Yan po ang sinabi po sa akin ng tatay ko po. At lumaki po ako dito sa Pilipinas po. At wala rin po, Madam Senador, wala rin po ako ibang citizenship kung hindi Filipino lang po.
How did you acquire how did you obtain your birth certificate in 2005?
Minigay po sa akin, hindi po ako yung nag-prepare po nitong birth certificate. Hiningi ko po sa tatay ko po yung birth certificate ko po.
Was this discussed, Madam Chair? Did the PSA already look at the birth certificate? That was what was being discussed earlier, right, when I arrived? Yes. So that was, we will ask for the report from the PSA on the authenticity of that birth certificate. So tell us more. I know that time is up now. Tell us more in Hokkien, your childhood situation. I don't want to be intrusive, and there's no reason to explain about all of us have imperfect lives, but tell us about your childhood so we get to know you better, and your Chinese playmates, if any, Filipino associates or playmates, if any, and your family in China.
In Hokkien po.
In Hokkien,
Sen.
please.
Opo. Sa
We
farm,
want to hear you speak your language.
ang language ko po ay Tagalog po, Senador. Ako po ay isang Filipino. Sa
Yes.
farm po, ang gamit po namin lengguwahe po ay Tagalog po.
But speak Hokkien. I just want to
I
hear
can
it.
speak Hokkien po, pero ang
Yes.
ginagamit po na lengguwahe po sa farm po ay Tagalog.
There's nothing wrong with knowing languages.
Yes, po.
If you're good in Hokkien, speak it, right? For
Yes,
after
po.
all, your father's Chinese and you're half Chinese. Don't be ashamed of that.
Opo, hindi naman po ako nahihiya, hindi man po ako na-ashamed. Madam Senador, mas kaya ko po ikwento na mas fluent sa Tagalog kasi yan naman po ang mother tongue ko po kaysa sa po sa Chinese language po. Kaya ako okay lang po na ikwento ko po in Tagalog.
Okay, proceed. If you don't like to speak the language of your father, then speak in Filipino.
Opo.
Briefly please, Mayor, dahil malapit na tayo mag-suspend for
Ay,
today.
opo, sorry po ma'am.
Thank you. Just brief.
Opo.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Lumaki po ako sa farm. 14 years old pa lang po ako. Nag-aalaga na po ako ng baboy. Ako nagpapaanak. Ako rin po nagbebenta po ng mga fatteners po na nilalabas po ng farm.
Medyo, hindi po yung negosyo. Mula po 1986 when you were born, your recollection, 86 to the time you obtained your birth certificate in 2005.
Madam Senador po, nung maliit pa lang po ako, nung 1986 po, wala na po talagang malala. Although ayaw ko po talaga ma-mention yung word na wala po ako malala. Pero wala po
No,
talaga
I'm not
ako maalala.
asking about the day you were born. Obviously, nobody knows that. Any of us. I said 86 to 205. Between the day you were born and 9 years old, you would have some recollection. Ako nga po, doble ng age nyo. Naaalala ko pa yung childhood ko na ako'y 5 years old Kilala ko pa yung grade school teachers ko Yun lang po. Huwag tayo magpilosopo po dito. I mean,
Opo.
obviously, I'm not asking you, how was it when you were born? Hindi po. From 1986 to 205.
Madam Senador, lumaki po ako sa farm. Kinulong po ako ng tatay ko.
Paulit-ulit naman, parang memoryado nyo. Kasi kino-coach ka ng lawyers mo siguro. Just, magkwento, parang kaibigan. Parang nagpunta senador sa'yo, oh, Mayor, kamusta na kayo? Kamusta ang buhay nyo dito? Napana kayo sa farm? How was your life when you were born? Ganun. Sino yung neighbors nyo, playmates nyo, paano yung pamilya, binibisita ka ng ama mo, ganun. Kwento lang.
Madam Senador,
As a Filipino, as you claim.
Opo, gustong-gusto ko po magkwento. Ang playmates ko po doon sa farm ay yung mga dati po namin empleyado rin po. Kaminggo po yung mga tao pero may mga luma, mga matatagal po namin empleyado. Pagbalik ko po ngayon araw, hahanapin ko po sila at sa susunod po na Senate hearing, isasama ko na lang din po
Ako,
sila.
aaralin pa ng mga abogado. Teka po, anything, when I say your first 10 years of your life, the first 9 years of your life, kilala ko pa yata yung isang abogado mo sa likod mo. Anyway, the first 9 years of your life, what is the first image that comes? Tell us about your farm life. Must be a charming, idyllic life, right?
Opo, nasalo po ako ng farm. Di po ako pinag-aral po ng tatay ko po. Ang nagtuturo po sa akin si Teacher Rubilin po na na-mention ko po nung nakaraan na Senate hearing. And how I wish po really, Madam Senador, na I have a perfect life po. However
we're
po,
not talking about
pinalaki po ako sa farm.
imperfections or perfection. Kwento lang nga
Opo.
9-10 years po. Siyempre man, Mayor, may maalala, 38 ka lang
Opo, sa farm nga po ako lumaki po, Madam Senador. Hindi po naging normal po yung
I'm not
buhay ko
asking
po.
nga normal or it's Madam Chair, I know that time is limited and I would want to get to know the mayor.
Halata mo agad na Chinese talaga. Bakit? Dahil sa matinding pagsisinungaling, lahat ng Chinese posibleng madamay dito. Dahil yan sa kasinungalingan ni Mayor Alice Go. Dito halata mo agad na Chinese talaga. Bakit? Siyempre, malaman na lang. Napaksinungaling kaya ng Chinese Foreign Ministry at Chinese Ambassador. Nasa diguran siguro ng mga Chinese ang pagiging sinungaling. Sa nagpapatuloy kasing investigasyon, lumalabas na napakadaming baho ni Mayor Alice Do. Asawa ni Mayor ay nagpapatakbo ng napakalaking illegal na pogo sa buong Pilipinas. Pero pagigiit ni Mayora, wala raw siyang asawa o kinakasama.
Wala ka asawa?
Wala po.
Boyfriend?
Wala po.
Sigurado?
Sigurado po.
Wala ka live-in partner?
Wala po.
Yung live-in partner mo nagmamanage ng pogo operations mo sa Bumban?
Hindi po.
Sigurado ka?
Sigurado po ako.
Wala ka relasyon sa isang public official?
Wala po.
No, because this is not a laughing matter because I have received a very reliable information that you have a live-in partner that manages the pogo operations in your town.
Your Honor, hindi po, wala pong katotohanan po yun. Kahit nga po ipalabas niyo po sila, magharap po kami, hindi po yun totoo.
Nauna nang sinabi ni Mayor na Pilipina ang nanay nito. Chinese ang tatay na napangasawa. Pero sa PSA record walang kasal na naganap. Dito na patumayang invento talaga at pineke ang pagka-Pilipino sa birth certificate. Hinamon tuloy ni Senator Tulfo magpa-lie detector test. Kaso well-trained ang taong to. Kahit nagsisinungaling, lalabas at lalabas pa rin na totoo ang sinasabi niya.
Are you willing to undergo a lie detector test
Yes po, Your Honor.
to help you at the same time? Kasi kung nagsasabi ka ng totoo, then it will help you na para malaman ng taong bayan na nagsasabi ka ng totoo. On the other hand, kapag it's the other way around, then dito malalaman na ikaw sinungaling na pwede kang makontempt ng committee and pwede kang makulong.
Huwag mo kami dramahan dito. Di uubrayan pagbabanta ni Senator Tulfo. Napag-alaman rin na partner sa business nito ang isang malaking sindikato sa Singapore. Grabe ka na, Mayor. Puro ka anomalya ha.
Kasi that's what the public really wanted to hear, na yung mga sad story, mga fairy tales, mga teleserye. Gusto mong pumunta doon pero no, wag mo kami lisin doon. We know better. Okay? You cannot use that. Wag ka magpapakaawa dito po, Mayora. Alam naman namin talaga kung sino ka. Kaya lang, it's very hard for us right now to find out. That's why we're trying to get more information about who you really are. Because we know, and everybody knows here, everybody listening and watching, and you know in your heart, na inconsistent ka and you're lying. You're lying through your teeth. Sometimes kasi sa pagsisinungaling mo, akala mo yung pagsinungaling mo nagiging totoo na. Because sanay ka sa pagsinungaling, you've been living in a life of lying. Base po doon sa mga statements na mga binitiwan mo na sa amin.
Or wala pong pogo business at hindi po ako yung nagpatayo. Sa akin lang po is only yung property po, yung lupa lang po. Nagkumpisa po kami, yung Baofu po, bago po ako nag-divest po, in-invite ko po sila para mag-invest po sa Bamban. Pero ako po, wala po akong pogo na business po at hindi rin po ako nagmamanage po ng pogo. At license po yung pogo na andun po sa Bamban. Ang sa akin lang po is nung naging mayor na po ako, nagbigay po ako ng business